best friends got each other's back. We used to cruise around with a bass to the max. Everyone in school while I was in the lab, cooking up some beats that would turn into tracks. High school chillin', I was on a mission. I had bigger dreams of being a musician. Teachers always talked but I couldn't seem to listen. I lived in a fantasy land, they called it fiction. But I was gonna be big one day, playing shows on the road to a sold out stage. Nobody really cared or believed I would make it anywhere close, I would fail and fade. But that's cool, I love that, cause any little doubt gives me energy back. And now I'm in a place where I'm glad I never gave up on the dreams I had. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. Yeah, let's go. So if you want something big, you gotta swing fast, swing hard and commit. You might miss 10 times, but when you hit, just make sure that you get all of it, okay? People at the top took risks. Investing and testing is all that they did. It's not complicated, it just takes grit. So never give up, take a swing at it. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing.
I forgot that Blaze put the longer one in. I was just like, why is it taking so long? But what's up, guys?
8 more shows. 8 more shows. 8 more shows.
Yeah, that is expensive. But welcome, guys, to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 61. I'm here with my guys, Coach Ed Glanny, Blaze Radio, Next Shift Randy, and Rios for the Just Fans Podcast. How's everyone doing? And Randy, how you doing?
How you doing, Mitch?
How you doing?
Hold on.
How you doing?
I'm good.
It's going to be one of them episodes, guys. Just fair warning if you're watching.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those episodes.
Y'all know I'm the sexiest one on here, so I'm good to go. So
I'll give you that.
Yep, R2, it's the home stretch. It's the home stretch until the last game. Rios, how do you get those draft guys on your show?
Yeah, props, bro.
Last year was us reaching out to them. This year, like a couple of them reached out to us. Like they saw what we did for some guys last year, and they reached out to us. Or like we'll interview one of their teammates, and they'll hit us up and like, hey, can I come on? Like, yeah, sure, come through.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah,
Props.
very cool.
Seriously. So let's get right into the show, shall we? So Brooklyn Nets have fired their head coach Jacques Vaughn on Monday, and then Kevin Ollie takes over.
NYG, where you at, bro?
NYG. Hey, no one having NYG right now.
Believe me, I was DMing him everything. And apparently, Jacques Vaughn wanted to build this team around Ben Simmons. So I was just like, I think that was the reason why he got canned. But,
no offense to NYG or any Nets fans out there, but unpopular opinion. I don't care. I don't care about the Nets.
I don't either, but it was like breaking. I did not expect this. Like, seriously, I didn't expect this. I thought they were going to do that at the end of the offseason.
Jacques Vaughn how dumb can you be, or it's either one of two things. Either how dumb can you be or how smart can you be, because you're getting fired, but you're still going to get paid, so you can go chill. So,
Right.
which is it? But realistically, I think it's, bro, you done in the NBA as far as a head coach. You might be an assistant, but you ain't going to be a head coach. Mm-mm.
Hey, my guy Scott, how you doing,
Yeah.
man? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
Well, Scott,
Tell Mitch about himself.
hey guys, hey, you guys need to give Doc Rivers a chance. We're not
Absolute-
Bucks fans.
I know
We're not
Absolutely
Bucks
not.
fans.
I'm looking
We're
at
not.
Michael K. I'm looking at Michael K. right now. And guess what they're talking about? Doc Rivers, 3-7 record. That's
Well played, sir. Well played.
Exactly. That's a good one.
That was great. That was great to lose in the first round of the NBA playoffs. I don't want to talk about what's going on with Doc Rivers, JJ Redick, and Patrick Beverly. To me, that's just like, why?
I mean, the
What?
coach does run. I mean, coach does run the show. However, if they make the playoffs, sorry guys, but Doc Rivers ain't getting on the floor. I mean, he can make bad moves and shit, but still got really good players on the floor if they make the playoffs. Hey, Mitch,
Yeah. Yeah, that's doing me. Oh. Please.
what about me?
I guess
Yeah,
he saw
I'll
my
go play for Doc Rivers. I'll make him look like a king, like I did last year. Oh yeah, right. I forgot I
Alright,
can
so-
remove myself now too.
Yeah, so for the Brooklyn Nets, they want to actually start building around Mikal Bridges. I'm like, start? That should have been done already. That should have been
Right.
done already.
Got a lot
Like-
of building to do.
They got a lot of stuff, and they still have draft picks from the Phoenix Suns, so they still got a future ahead of
But
them.
we own most of their draft picks, so please keep
Yeah.
losing.
All right, what
I
is
mean-
up, Randy?
With the play-in stuff too, don't get it twisted. I think it's too many teams, but as bad
Oh,
as the
Robert.
Nets could be, they fired their coaches and everything. They're still not far out of the play-in.
What's up, Jamar? What is up, Raph? Yeah, they're not far away at
No.
all. Like Brooklyn is
3
just
games
like
out.
I just think it just comes down to Ben Simmons. Is he going to play or not? That's what it comes down to. Not because I'm saying that. I'm just like with his health and everything. I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, but I'm going to anyways. I mean, why care about Ben Simmons? You got Nick Claxton,
Yeah.
you got Mikal Bridges, you got Cam Thomas. I mean, you got guys on your team right now that are studs. Who gives a shit about Ben Simmons? Who cares if the fucker doesn't see the floor for the next 9 games or not? Guess what? You got a squad there, and right now the cancer is taking over, and right now he's becoming the limelight when you got other dudes there that should be taking the light.
I was just kind of going to allude to something like that. Not as passionate, but I feel you, Randy. I'm right there with you.
Right.
It's true. Why worry about Ben Simmons when you can, affect it other ways? And further,
Yeah,
get Mike Tomlin out of your mouth, bro. There ain't no comparison.
Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has won
Mike Tom, yeah.
championships.
Yeah. Plus, he's
Yeah.
how many winning
Divisions.
seasons in a row. Yeah, let's not go there. With all due
Hey,
respect,
Logan.
Trevor, my brother.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas could be the next big thing with the right coaching. That's what I was going to say.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, they
build
got
around
Cam Thomas.
and
Yep.
Nick Claxton
And you got Michael
and
Bridges
Mikal
too.
Bridges.
Like,
That's
come
a
on.
young big three.
Who
That
is
is the
coaching
big
now?
three.
Who did they name as interim or whatever?
Kevin Ollie.
Kevin Ollie.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Ollie.
Fair.
Yeah.
Give him a
I
shot.
love Kevin Ollie, bro. Like he was a former
Further,
Sixer player, UConn
And
and
they also have
stuff. Like
Cameron Johnson too. So they you look at their starting lineup minus that cancer Ben Simmons. You throw Dennis Schroeder in there, and it's like Lonnie Walker comes off your bench as the 6th guy. You still have Day'Ron Sharp. You still have Dorian Finney-Smith. It's like they have a freaking squad there. Stop talking about the guy who never plays.
Yeah. CSWA, that's my boy James Sargent. Salute to you, my friend. Welcome
oh,
in.
that's him. What is up, man? Name something by him, bro.
Oh,
Make sure you hit those likes and subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. We're almost at 1K. So help us get over that hump. Pause. But anyways,
Hump day, hump day, hump day.
It is hump day.
All right.
actually, so, well,
Who doesn't like
well,
humps?
it is hump day. It is hump
Do the
day.
Humpty Hump. Do the Humpty Hump.
Tyrese Halliburton, shout out to you, my brother.
Right. Bringing the 90s back.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
once again, he is one of my favorites. I'm not trying to clown on him, but damn, does he look like Humpty with them glasses?
yeah.
I know.
I digress.
So Blaze, I want to start with you on this. Did LeBron James ruin the dunk contest?
I have to concur with Rios and other people in our group chat that said, please don't make me agree with Stephen A. Smith. But when he and you could see the other two already kind of what are you getting at? Stephen A. came up and said this, and I want to hear him explain it. He said that LeBron ruined the dunk competition, and then it came out the other day that a few individuals were offered $1 million to all be in this, the big names, when LeBron was young. So Stephen A. was like, give me time. And he explained that when LeBron was younger, he kept saying he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. If he would have got in there as a young up and coming when he was blowing up at first, I think there would be more of the bigger names that would have been like, hey, if Bron's in there, I want to beat LeBron at the dunk competition, or I want to show him that I can do it too. It had a ripple effect. So, is it only LeBron that did it? No, there's a lot of factors that caused, the dunk competition to be repetitive, like we said the other night. But I have to tend to agree with him. If the big names, LeBron could have caused a ripple effect. To me, right now, I let you guys know how I felt passionately during that show. And the whole show, I was looking forward to the dunk competition. To me, the three-point shootout was the best. It came down to the wire. It was exciting. It made you, right to the end. But right now, I would say, and I know with the next topic, I'll get into this a little more, but we need to ban props and jumping over people. Let's give the ability to the human being doing the dunk. I mean, after that show, the next day, I wanted to, as much as people are saying, change it, get rid of the dunk. No. I went and watched a bunch of Team Flight Brothers and some old stuff that McClung did and stuff that I just be creative. We don't need to rely on jumping. And there were so many things. I mean, Jaylen Brown doing the D Brown after the dunk. Mitch brought it up like 10 times. You jumped over Shaq, and now you're jumping over a 5-foot guy sitting down. It's like it's so anticlimactic. The dunk competition used to go up, and then you got the finals with the two best. It just hit a pit. And if you rewatch it, I mean, Mac McClung deserved it. If you rewatch it, he did his signature double reverse with the windmill. He did the let go of the ball and catch it, which no one's ever done. So in hindsight, he was way above the other competition, deserves the title. But do I want it to be better? Hell yes. That's my favorite event. And it seems like it's ruined right now. Stephen A. also said, maybe we should have a nationwide tournament of non-NBA players. Can you imagine all the big cities during the beginning of the season or even the preseason would have, like they used to have how big were 3-on-3 tournaments back in the day? They were everywhere outside. So if you had a nationwide non-pro, you had to sign up for it. All the dunkers, street dunkers, everybody. And then the top 4 or 8 would compete, or 4 versus 4 NBA players. That, I think, would bring tons of creativity, and we would stop seeing alley-oop to yourself and jump over your buddy. And I could go on for hours, but that's it. I think the LeBron thing that Stephen A. said has a lot of back to it.
Yep. And I want to give a special shout out to Sarah Hapka, who's actually a part of our wrestling co-host with Earl Cole. Shout out to you, Sarah. Keep on doing your thing. And yeah.
Hey, they made Naughty Blaze a famous trending worldwide, so I appreciate that. I had a blast on their show, man. I was on there and I had a blast. Those
it was awesome. Great. Queens of the Ring, it was great. So let's go into Rios. How do you think LeBron ruined this competition?
I think it's a big contributing factor to it, because again, it makes it easier for the bigger names to say, "Oh, if LeBron doesn't do it, why should I do it?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Because think about it, like, when's the last time a big name player was in the dunk competition?
You can argue some of them, the Levine,
Jaylen Brown,
Gordon one, but like top tier, like the Jaws, the Zions, the LeBrons, the Giannis's, the big guys, the top 10 names, the Dominique and Jordan.
Right. I mean, the last superstar I could think of is Vince Carter. That was 2000.
Yeah.
And he was, at his peak at 2000. Like, that's the last time a guy at that caliber was in the dunk competition. Not saying there hasn't been great dunks since then, but it's like the biggest name has been Vince Carter since 2000. Like, again,
Kobe.
it's all,
Kobe too.
he won it in '98
Yeah.
because he did it. He did it as an 18-year-old, and LeBron is easy did it when he first came into the league, or even the second season, third season.
Yep. It's all about the Benjamins.
And keep in mind, those dudes did it for free. They weren't being. There was no incentive. It was just the trophy, basically. They weren't doing it for money, and then they offer them money, and they still can't get big names because, again, it's scared. They're just scared of. I don't know. They're scared of competition, scared of looking bad. I don't know. National spotlight. Like, come on, man. Like,
just to piggyback before you go to the other guys, the money thing. Look what we saw with the in-season tournament. We saw competition in the beginning of a season. I mean, I saw an elevated level of play in that in-season tournament. So it proves that giving them money, I'm not saying give them $10 million a person or anything stupid like that, but a million, get some kind of endorser to support it. I mean, come on. It can happen. It can be turned around. I
was going to finish with so if the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, could do it at this peak, if he could do it, ain't no one too big to say no to the dunk competition, regardless of incentive or not. Like, my 2 cents.
Yeah. All right, Coach, how about you? Did LeBron ruin the dunk competition?
No, I don't think so. What I think has ruined the dunk competition is making players, elevating players being a brand where they don't want to hurt themselves.
Yep.
And that's where, because, they're a business. Their bodies are their business. And every time you jump, you do take away from your athleticism, the jumping, the landing. And I get it, Jordan and them, they did it in years past, Vince Carter. Yeah, you guys are right and all of that. But I think that we as fans, we put a greater expectation, and then the NBA in terms of promoting these guys and making them their brands, and they don't want to do things to hurt their brand. You said earlier, competition, going out there and not looking well in a dunk contest, that can hurt your brand. So, and the perception of a brand. So for me, that's where it is. Now, Blaze harped on something. He says, we've seen everything for the most part. And I think these guys also lack creativity, which is going to hurt their brand. And they feel like, well, everyone is doing pretty much the same thing. What can I do that's pretty much different? Like, Blaze, remember I said, has anybody ever done a Manigault dunk, a dunk? And that's where you take a basketball, something off the top of the backboard, but no one can jump that high per se. Not very few.
Yeah.
So, it's what can you really expect in terms of the dunk? Yeah, you're right. Moving the ball, different things, we've seen it, tossing it off the backboard, getting it coming from far back. What can you really do? The only thing that I could honestly say, jumping from the top of the from outside the free throw circle, if you can jump that far, I mean, really, honestly, y'all tell me what dunks that we really haven't seen. Go ahead, Blaze.
Team Flight Brothers, I'm going to go back to them. There's a lot of dunks where people are dunking behind them like that, which we haven't seen in a dunk competition. They will go under the rim and they'll dunk behind themselves. The 720, 2 revolutions. I've seen it done, but no one can repeat it there. McClung even does this. Behind his back, up over his shoulder, and the ball comes rolling up his hand to catch it. There are some creative stuff they could do, but I agree with what you're saying. There's a lot of reasons that they don't want to be in it. Now, I'm going to agree to disagree on the injury thing, though. LeBron, when he decided not to be in a dunk competition, what did he do almost every pregame? He did his own little dunk competition. He came out, he did those moves. in practice, these dudes are doing these dunks. So I get it. They don't want to get injured, but I said this a million times. You can slip on ice going outside. You can get hurt anywhere. So are some of them not doing it because of injury? Sure. I'm sure that's their excuse, but I don't like that excuse. LeBron used to do that, and they said it on NBA TV the other day too. He would do just like Steph has his whole pregame, LeBron would do a dunk show as his first, second, third, fourth year, and they still do it. Some of them do it. So the creativity is there. They just have to go out and find people that want to do it. I'm not totally disagreeing because there are a lot of people that be like, well, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured. And we don't say that in all sports. A lot of these players play hurt throughout most of the season. If you're injured, if you're just hurt, maybe you don't want to risk it. If you're nursing an ankle or something like that. But there are tons of things they could be doing.
Well, let me say this.
Jumping over their buddy.
Let me say this, Blaze, because you talked about the 720. That actually does take a lot of practice. And when you're in the course of your NBA season, you don't have the time to practice that when you really think about it. Because you're right. That's a great dunk to see. And I would love to see them do it. And that's the thing, and you're talking about guys who are they're doing it because they practice it because they want to draw interest.
Yep. They're the AND1 guys, the Team Flight brothers.
Exactly.
They do the stunts.
So, and that's the thing, it's like, I don't want to put them on that level, but it's like the Harlem Globetrotter. There's some trick stuff that they do, but they practice that because they know it is for entertainment. But a 720, you're right. When guys are playing all season long, they're playing back to back. They don't have time to sit down and do that. You once the All-Star break comes down, you probably have a day. So how much time are you really going to get to practice that? Because you're right, that would be great. The behind the backs, that would be great. And I agree with you, but it's like, well, where do they have the time to practice that?
Maybe they need to go outside the NBA to get a handful of dunkers to put on a show for us. I mean, they can sign a waiver. They can, I'm sure that some of these Team Flight brothers, AND1 and all of them would love to have a couple of them on there to give us a show and show us that the creativity can still be there.
Blaze, how many people see the thing is, you're also talking about the casual fans. The casual fan is not going to turn in for that. They're just not. They really aren't. They're not going to Team Flight. They want us, like you said, they want to see the top names in there. And you got, guys coming up from the G League, it's just And then when you got guys who are in the league and they're doing stuff that we've all seen, it's like
someone even said it too, that a lot of the fans there, like the kids, they probably loved that dunk competition that we hated on because that was the first time they ever saw professionals doing those dunks in person. So I kind of get that, the casuals too. But something has to change, bottom line. I mean, when Mr. Always loving the dunk competition wants to change it, that's me. And I'm advocating in change, please.
Mr. Bodkin, they don't get, you're talking about a week to practice that. They don't get a whole week off. The guys who are going to the All-Star weekend, like my Knicks, they played Wednesday. And then, you got Jalen Brunson and Saturday night. That's not a whole week off. That's not a whole week off. Yeah, they don't play back-to-backs, but they're traveling. There's so much more. What I'm saying is about time. That takes time to sit down and go through and practice. It's just not something that you could just think they can just, a couple of reps and then boom, they have it. That's 720.
The LeBron thing. Do you guys think, and I got a question for everybody before we get Randy's take on this, because I know I'm taking up a lot of time. If next year Ja Morant is healthy and he comes right out and goes, I'm going to be in the dunk competition, do you think that would cause a couple other big names, like maybe Ant or someone to be like, Ja's in it, maybe I should. You know what I'm saying? Like if the ripple effect, if one big name comes out, I think the others could follow. You guys agree?
Oh, most definitely.
Almost, yeah.
The biggest thing this year is Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's not. He's the highest paid, but he's not a superstar. Like he's not. He's not the level of Ja Morant.
Tatum's the superstar on that team. Tatum's the man.
So again, YG, we were talking about your Nets earlier, brother.
Hey, I gave an unpopular opinion. Shout out to you.
But I want to hear what Randy's take, and then I'll go after Randy. So, Randy, what's your take about this whole LeBron thing?
I just want to answer Blaze quick. It was Vince Carter that confirmed that the NBA had plans to offer four superstars $1 million each. It was him, Kobe, T-Mac, and LeBron, and all the guys said no.
Could you imagine those four going at it?
Mm,
That would be
I
crazy.
agree with
And that
you,
was
bro.
what year, Randy? Do you have a year on that?
Oh shoot, no.
Because I mean, that had to
Well,
be 15
That-
years
was-
ago.
it
Just
was
think about
later
it.
on. I want to say. I think I have a picture of it. It has the
That
date
had
on
to
it.
be
One sec.
late. That had to be late '90s, if I'm not
Do you guys
mistaken.
think a $2 million
No,
prize?
2005.
No,
You guys
no,
think
no.
a $2 million prize? would get more names
2005,
in?
Randy. 2005.
2005.
2005.
Yeah,
20, almost 20
Yep.
years ago.
2005.
yeah.
What do you think about their new coach, NYG? That's what we were talking about too.
So
Yeah.
2005, Kobe was already in
Yeah.
his what?
Can you imagine
Kobe was,
those
in,
four?
Kobe was entering year 10. Vince Carter, a little bit older. T-Mac.
T-Mac.
With the
He was-
He
Rockets.
could do, T-Mac
Those
could
were the
do
Rockets.
crazy stuff, Duncan, too. Plus, he uses
Yes.
power. Where a lot of dudes are finesse dunkers, I want to see some power dunkers.
So
too.
those
He's
guys
got
are
that
older,
wingspan.
but they competed when there was no payment at all. So I don't think they turned it down. I think LeBron probably said no, even with the money, because he
I
doesn't
know I
need
wouldn't want
$1
to. See Shaq in a dunk competition, but you know what I'm talking about. When he dunks and pulls the rim down, kicks his legs up, like you can make a power dunk look fucking
Yeah.
phenomenal.
You're waiting for that thing to just break. You're like, oh, here we go.
right?
'Cause, yeah, the
All right.
power he brought.
But
So
yeah,
what's
look
your-
back at that. So those three dudes did it for free. The only one person that's never done it was LeBron. Like, come on, we know he's the one that said no, but they don't want to out him. So like, no, they all said no, just to save face. Like, oh man, like
Yeah,
we
just
know.
to say
Mm.
thing. Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
Maybe
guys, I
he might
wanna
be the
say
one
that-
that he can dunk from the 3-point line.
Hey, I would love it as a Wemby fan, as a Wemby supporter. I would love it.
Unless he could do some weird stuff. If he's just vertical jumping, he's getting off the floor like 2 inches.
Yeah.
If you now, if you
He's
want
not
to tell
gonna
me,
go jump.
if you
Can you imagine
now,
him doing a windmill?
no,
I've seen
give
it.
me
That'd be
him,
hideous.
give me him to get the ball up the top of the backboard. Then I'm gonna talk to you.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it might be. able to
Now
do.
that
Yeah,
I'll
there you
get
go.
that I'll give you.
With
That
that
I'm not impressed.
He could probably jump
What
from
about
almost the
Bobo?
top of the key.
You know,
Who?
Bol Bol and him, because
Bol.
they're both bigger 7-footers. You know,
And
imagine
then you
him.
have Chet.
And I've seen Bol Bol. He can throw it down. He's not
And
scared to
Mobamba.
tap the rim.
Ibra,
Mubamba.
the worst player on the Sixers. But
I thought it was the
Randy,
Bulls.
I want to. Randy, what's your take about this whole LeBron thing?
Yeah, I agree. I think he did, but I want to take a little bit what Coach said though. But I think he did it because of his brand. Like when he was probably offered it, he was still early in the league. He hadn't really built his image yet, and he think probably in his head, what if I miss a couple? That's going to be on me until I either come back and do it again. And then because of the other guys being grizzled vets, they were probably like, no, we're not doing it because, like we're in our older age. And if we miss, then they're like, oh, these guys are old. They can't do it anymore. And yet, excuse me, they're still hoopers. It's just, either you miss some and some you don't. It's like, it is what it is. But I think because of his decision, it does have a big effect because the league goes where LeBron goes. And right now, LeBron is now obviously the face of the league, the leading scorer. And since he hasn't ever done it, we've never seen KD in the dunk contest. We probably will never see like Zion Williams in the dunk contest. But like Blaze says, maybe if Jaw's watching this and going, you know what, get back my hops in that, maybe that'll change some guys' minds. Who knows if money will be involved next year? We all don't know. But if they're listening to the fans and it's kind of 50-50, then hopefully they'll change it. But I think with LeBron not being in it, it has been a big effect.
When did LeBron become the face of the NBA?
I'd say once he won a couple titles.
Oh,
So
six?
we're talking about
Heat.
and
I'd say
all of
Heat
this,
time.
all of this about the dunk, you're talking about prior to that. But yet and still, he ruined it. He ruined it. The question is, did LeBron James ruin the dunk contest? And that's why it's like for me. Now, if you want to say the players in the league, yes, they did. But it's not, LeBron wasn't even a face at that point in time.
Well, even
So-
when he became the face,
Well-
he could have been in it.
Let's go back to 2003. All the hype surrounding him, the Chosen one, the Sports Illustrated, like, yet all this hype coming into the league, like, oh, he's gonna, transform the league. He's gonna, be the greatest of all time. This and that, and
He
No,
could have
but
set that
still-
example when he won a title with the Heat. If he would have said, "Next year I'm going to be in a dunk competition," just like I said, if Ja came, if LeBron, when he became the face, said, "I'm going to do the dunk competition," I guarantee you, 3 other superstars would have been like, "Well, I'm going to go and try to beat LeBron. Let's do this."
But that's
He
Yeah.
could
the
have
point.
set
It's-
the example. That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about. But I
you
get where you're
s-
coming from.
yeah,
If
it's-
rookie LeBron was in it, he could have.
Yeah.
He could. I don't think he would have ruined his brand, but it could have damaged it a little bit. If he
No,
if he
it-
sucked
it-
and didn't make a dunk and came in last place. Look at Jordan
Yeah.
when he was in a 3-point shootout. He had 6 points. Did that ruin him? I don't think
But
so.
nobody thought Jordan was a good 3-point shooter. No one. So dunking is one thing. So, and all I'm saying is because and I'm being very literal. It says,
Yes.
did LeBron James ruin the dunk contest?
What if
And
LeBron came out and did shit we never saw? Like Mike brought the kiss to the rim and rocked the cradle. What if LeBron came out and did 3 dunks we never saw before and just
does that mean
elevated? He could have elevated the dunk competition.
elevated
back to
it,
what
yes.
it was. Yeah.
Elevated
And I'm talking
it, yes.
about 5 or 6 years in when he was already the face.
Oh,
That's what.
But
Yeah, I get
but
you. More so
ruin
that
it-
than when he was a rookie.
Could he contribute and elevate it? Yes. That I
Could've
agree
brought
with
it
you. But ruin it? No. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he ruined it. A lot of it, like if you want to say a lot of the top players are the best dunkers not getting involved, yes. I'll give you all that. It's not
still
just
ruined to
him.
me. As
Yeah.
bad as this last one was, and I literally said this was the worst in my opinion. It's still not ruined for me because that's a show, an opportunity for a show every year.
Mhm.
It's not ruined in my opinion.
So for me, I'm not going to go with LeBron. I'm going to go with the NBA. By that, I mean, just like they're not marketing it enough. They should be starting it from like, I don't know. When was the in-season tournament again? When was it?
November.
November.
It was like middle of November, right? That is when they should start getting the players in. I don't care who it is. You start naming the players for the dunk contest. Have them promote them as much as you can. Have them work on their dunks from November to February. Boom. If you start it earlier and promote it earlier, maybe that could change the difference. Like
That's a good
when
point.
did they start promoting it? Like
A
January?
week before, like a week before, you get
A
the
week
names.
before.
Yeah.
A week
A
Yeah.
week
before,
before.
we got
So
the
that's
names.
exactly my point. Why not do
Yeah.
it in November?
And that goes along with what Coach said too about, do you really think they got a lot of time to practice? No, but when the in-season tournament ends, they make an announcement at the in-season tournament finals. Here's who's going to be, barring injury, at the All-Star break.
Mhm.
That's not a
Yep.
bad idea, Mitch, because then you got build. Like we build pay-per-views in wrestling. You got weeks
Right.
of people talking
Build
about
up.
it.
Build up. Build
And
up.
Wow,
Build
that's a great-
anticipation.
that's a great
And
point.
also during the season while they're playing games, fans are gonna get more interested.
Because
Breakaways.
they'll
They're gonna
highlight their dunks. They'll highlight their
Exactly.
dunks. Yeah.
And you can have 4 decent names and 4 no names. That's okay. Because
Yeah.
then those
And
4 no
I
names
do-
have the ability to become a name.
I
Yep.
do agree with Blaze on how there should be more than 4 players. I agree with 8. Remember that time when they had like 2 teams? That was
Yeah.
beyond terrible. I don't want that. I just
No,
want
yeah.
like everyone versus each other, 8 man.
Do you think
Start
Spud
promoting
Webb,
in November.
you think Spud Webb would have been as big as he is if he didn't win a dunk competition?
Oh yes.
Same with Nate Robinson.
Same with
He
Nate
was-
Robinson.
Hey, Robinson.
They were their whole persona was elevated because of that.
Well,
Brent Barry, do you think Brent
here-
Barry would have got any shine if he didn't win a dunk
here's one other
competition?
thing too. Then
Yeah.
they also need to
Cam
change some of
Whitmore.
these. They need to change some of these judges then, because that's another
Yeah.
factor. The
Yeah.
Former
judges,
dunk
Yes.
champs. Former dunk champs.
yeah, the
Former dunk
judges,
champs.
yeah, the former dunk champs are fine, but the point is, some of these, and they have to be fair. Come on,
Yep.
you're not fooling us fans. We
No.
see
wait.
the same thing, and
I guess former dunk champs doesn't work. Dominique was horrible.
Like, look, they gave
Gary
the
Payton
dunk
was
from
awful.
Jalen. They gave
I-
that jump at Jalen Brown a 47 when he dunked
Wait.
over 5 foot nothing. Kyson out. Come on,
I
man.
think that's politics. That's politics. I would bet $1 million if I had it that they cannot afford to have a bad image for the dunk competition. So I think the judges were told, don't you dare put anything lower than a 47 unless it's
Yeah.
a myth.
Because of
That's my
Tyson.
feeling because those were it was ridiculous
Did you see what Jaylen Brown did after his dunk? He covered his eyes after he landed.
He was supposed to do it during the dunk. I think he forgot to do it and then tried to save face.
That would have been funny if he.
But I don't want to
actually
rip.
did it.
We ripped on him the whole night and Sunday. We ripped on him. I give him credit for doing it.
NYG, yo, bro. Come on.
Oh, gee. Now that, yeah, let them pick the dunk competition.
Yo, really?
Oh
Hey,
man.
have a guy from And One and a guy from Team Flight Brothers be
Yeah.
judges. They're the
Yeah.
ones that are dunking
That-
all year long.
That's a good
All
one.
right.
I like that.
So I think that's
Exactly
enough of
opposite.
the dunk. I think that's enough of the dunk contest. How about the whole All-Star weekend? Was it broken? Because a lot of people saying it
Ooh.
was bad. That this needs fixing. Take out the dunk contest. Put in a 1v1. So I'm gonna start with Rain.
let me be clear though, so I understand. The whole weekend from Friday to Sunday,
Yep.
or
All-Star
certain
Majority,
events?
yes. Was it bad? Because
Mm.
everyone is
So
saying like this whole weekend was bad, which I disagree with. I feel
Why?
like the Rising Stars was good. I felt that was good to a point. The 3-point contest was amazing. Steph and Sabrina, that was my
I
point.
even like-
That was
I
my
even like
personal
the-
favorite.
I even like the Celebrity All-Star game wasn't that bad.
That was pretty
either.
good too.
That was fun. That was
It was
fun.
fun.
with
Let
the-
let me preface this answer with one word, and I said it before. It's an exhibition. This isn't a competition. And if you look at it that way, I would say no, it's not broken. I would say it's damaged and it just needs
Good word.
changes.
Good word.
The
That's
All-Star
fair.
game, I heard the word the phrase no defense 1,000 times on ESPN. It pissed me off. Was it poor defense? Sure. We go back to the possible injury thing. We go back to the thing that they're only getting a little bit of money and not a ton. We go back to a lot of variables that, yes, it looked kind of bad. Was it as bad as, how the NFL Pro Bowl was before they took it away? No, where they weren't even tackling, they were holding them. It wasn't that bad. It's an exhibition of the best basketball players in the world. If you look at it as an exhibition, I don't think it's totally broken where they were saying get rid of it, like completely. A one-on-one tournament would take too much time. That's the issue. They want to
Yeah,
have 4
yeah.
events on Saturday, and unless it was like
Why
a
not just have it like
4-person,
5 people, 5 or
it
6?
would have to be 4 people, 2 semifinals and a final, game to 11 or something quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's broken. I think it's just damaged and it needs repaired.
I can agree with that.
Mhm.
So I'll take it back to a few years ago when D Wade broke Kobe's nose during an All-Star game. Those guys actually they cared.
It happens, man.
It's about competition. It's about competition. Like they were trying to win the game. They didn't care that it was an exhibition. Like, they had the permission. Like, you gotta have some type of competitive fire, man. Like, and
This
they're
one
like,
wasn't, don't forget, this game wasn't close either. So they're not going to
No.
raise their game when you're down 30.
Right.
Maybe go
Well, I
back
think-
to the other quarter scoring thing.
I think I had shared in the group chat a couple days ago where I can't remember if it was the East or West. They were down by 21. They came back and won the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
It happened.
they fought like they cared about winning because anything winning shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's an exhibition or not. But these guys said they don't care. They're like, whatever. They're worried about the brand. That's like you guys have been mentioning.
What do I know? Who knows? Don't listen to Blaze. He don't know shit.
They're just worried about their brand. They're not worried about playing hard. Or,
People, this is just like
Right.
wrestling, and I ranted on how people overreact about wrestling every week. Are we overreacting? Was it bad? Could the weekend have been better? I'd rather say yes, it could be better than it was.
It
bad.
could be better, but to me, it
If
was
you're an
still
8-year-old
fun. I
kid,
loved
and you were
watching it with you guys. That was
Yeah.
fun.
if you were 8 years old and you went to your first All-Star weekend, you're probably loving that. Seeing all your favorite players in one court. You're not going to be like, they didn't play defense. No, but you saw 1,000 3-pointers made and 2 half courts. And I don't know. I think people are being a little too critical, but I do think there needs to be changes to make it more interesting. Don't
I
take anything away.
I definitely agree with that. Randy, what about you?
Well, you put in the group chat, Andre Iguodala, Larry Bird, and Julius Erving reportedly visited both locker rooms to tell the guys
Yeah.
to stress the importance on competitive play. So
Apparently,
Yeah.
if it takes 2 legends and one of the guys and one of the other guys, I think he's Andre's part of head office or something too. Is he not now? Like,
Yeah.
I think he is. Yeah.
They had,
So
a big check. If they had a big check with them, it might have changed. A $5 million check to the winner.
I
And that's
mean,
the thing.
Ron Harper put it best. Like they used to play, they didn't get no compensation back then. They played because they
Yeah.
wanted to win.
That's a
Yeah.
good point, Randy. Though, if the legends are coming in there and they can't fire these guys up,
Then
they
at
got to
this
try
point,
something different.
we got to try something different, right? So, but for me overall, because I like the Celebrity All-Star game, I didn't. The Rising Stars was but for the Saturday, for everything in its totality, other than the slam dunk competition, I loved it. So, and then the All-Star
Yep.
game as it is, the East putting up 47 of 96 threes. So that was interesting. That was so, but
Blazers
yeah,
like 96 threes.
If you expected
Jesus.
anything more than an exhibition, you're fooling yourself when it comes to the All-Star game. If
Yeah.
you expected top-notch defense when they don't even play that in a regular season, you're fooling yourself. They're saving up for playoff time, man. It's
Well, I was in the hospital sitting on the bed and I was watching on my phone and I had it plugged in so that it didn't die. And when Lillard pulled up from half court both times, I was like, he just hit that motherfucker from half. And a nurse come running in. She's like, what happened? Did you hit your head? What? I was like, no, Dame just hit a three from half court. And then but I was hyped. I was excited
That was
about
great.
that kind of stuff. And then just
That
how
was
he
great.
keeps going and going. I was like, Dame's feeling it. I love it.
Hey, shout out to Dame, man. He won a 3-point contest in Dame fashion, and he won the All-Star MVP.
Yeah.
Great weekend for him.
Yeah.
Hell of a
Right.
weekend for him. Oh, yeah.
I'll give it
Jacob
a B
Toppin,
minus.
he did
I'll
not
give it a
get
B
robbed.
minus. I'll give it a B minus.
So, yeah. All right. Now, who do you guys think is Coach of the Year so far? Who do you guys think is NBA Coach of the Year so far?
Someone else can go first this time. I've been hogging up the airtime here.
Blake.
I'm torn between the head coach of the Cavaliers and the head coaches of Minnesota and OKC right now.
Same.
And I'm probably going to lean it towards OKC because they're, a young and up and coming team, and they have some really great talent over there, but it's interesting there. So I mean, I was going to start with Mitch's favorite coach, Doc Rivers, but I said, nah, he hasn't been around long enough. But seriously, I'm probably gonna. I mean, I do like Cleveland and what you call it is doing there, but I mean, I got to go with with OKC, I guess.
I was gonna go with the Cavs. Just for that big stretch that they had, I think they won like 18 out of 20. And of course, NYC go to Jack Vaughn.
Oh yeah.
So mine is the Cavs head coach. So Rios, who's your coach of the year so far?
It might be viewed as a homer take, but hear me. I'm gonna go with Ime Udoka because the Rockets. We've won the most games we've won in 3 years, and we still have half a season left, and they still have a legitimate chance of making the play-in. If they can make it to play-in, I mean, it should be a lock for the coach of the year. But even that, they've won, less than 20 games the last 3 years, and they're already way above that, and still got half a season left.
All right, Randy, who's your coach of the year?
I'm really torn between either like Coach said, the Timberwolves, because they're sitting 39 and 16, and that's pretty good. But I'm actually going to probably go where nobody's going to go, and I'm going to say Ty Lue with the Clippers. They're 36 and 17. And
That's a good one.
When Harden
That's a good
got
one.
there and they were 0 and 9, everybody was writing them off. Oh, this is a horrible trade. You're not going to make it work. They look at themselves in the dressing room. Russell Wilson or Westbrook said, "You know what? I'll go to the bench to make this work." And from that point on, man, they were on one of the craziest win streaks, and right now they're sitting tied for second, just right behind the Thunder. So I'm going to say Ty Lue because the season's not over yet, but I think they'll be up there for sure.
I really like that pick. Blaze?
I looked
Nick
into it a
Nurse.
little bit, and as much as him holding the team together without Embiid, you got to give him a little bit of props. But I mean, I looked into Mark Daignault. I don't know, Randy, is that French Canadian or something? I don't know how to
Mark
pronounce that.
Mark
Daignault. I mean, I looked into him. He was a G League coach for 5 years, and now he's in the NBA. And as much as the Timberwolves, but they got Cat, they got Ant, they have superstars that should propel them up pretty high, but their coach is doing phenomenal. Cleveland coach is doing phenomenal. Houston's coach is doing phenomenal because they're way ahead of where they should be at this point with the talent they got, and they got a lot of young players. But Oklahoma City shouldn't be anywhere near where they're at, and coaching has brought that team together to be a top team in the West. When we were talking earlier in the season how stacked the West was, so I got to give it to OKC's coach, Mark Deneau.
Mark Deneau. Yeah, Mark Deneau.
I really
Hey, his name's good. If he keeps this up, his name will be more prevalent in the future. We'll know how to pronounce it.
Hey, look at Greg Popovich. You could say his name when he first started. Now
They
everyone
don't know about him.
You could pop a
Sure.
bitch.
Popovich.
Pop a bitch. Don't pop a bitch.
Popovich. What?
Pause.
Yeah. So the top 3 teams that the NBA that everyone should watch out for after the All-Star break. Who are your top 3 teams that everyone should watch out for? And we're gonna start off with Rios on this one.
I'm gonna go with the Thunder. They're putting it together, and they can challenge for the number 1 spot. I wouldn't be surprised seeing them up there.
All right. And your 2 and 3?
Second, I'm gonna go with the Clippers. They're playing great ball right now. Like they really have it. They figured it out. They're playing great ball right now. Again, it's gonna be between them and the Thunder and the Timberwolves for the number 1 spot in the West. And on the
3?
East, I'm gonna go with the Pacers. I think Halliburton
I
got
like
a little
that.
bit more confidence with the All-Star break, and I think they should make a good run too. Try to be top 4 in the East. So.
Nice.
All right. Randy?
My first one's going to be the Knicks, because once the Knicks got OG, they went from, I think, 16th defensive rating rate to 1. So I think once OG comes back healthy, all those acquisitions they got with Alec Burks and Bogdanovich, I think all the weapons are going to come back, and it's going to be a hell of a hard team to stop with Brunson at helm. So, and potentially Randall. So that's my first one. My second one is just like Rio said, I'm going to say the Clippers with Terrence Mann coming off the bench and playing really good minutes, but also Norman Powell. I think he potentially might be the 6th man of the year, leading it with a 3-point percentage, I think plus in the 40s, I think 45% from the corner. Like the guy's been lights out, ex-Raptor, by the way. So shout out to Normie P. And then my number 3 team is I'm going to stay in the West, and I'm going to say the Kings. I know they've been sputtering, but I feel like with the guys that they got, they're going to pull together, and they're going to somehow get out of that spot of potentially not being in the play-in spot and in with the regular boys. So those are my top 3.
All right. Blaze.
All right, I'm going a different way, and this is historical. If you look back at how championships are won in the NBA, I just talked about ramping up at the end and winning it. There's a couple exceptions to this rule. The Raptors, kind of out of nowhere, but they were great. The champions are always great. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about how history has gone. You got Golden State; they've won a bunch. The Heat, they won a bunch. The Lakers, they won a bunch. The Celtics, the Spurs, the Bulls, the teams that are elite with those elite players normally step up and do very well in the end. The Heat in the East, I'll go with them as number 1. Look what they did last year. Yes, they lost some pieces, but they make the playoffs. They're dangerous because everyone's going to step up their game. And then in the West, Lakers and Warriors, as long as you got Steph Curry and LeBron James, whether I like him or not, on your team, you are dangerous when it comes to playoff time. Yes, I said playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
I don't see.
In NBA, not a lot of parity. You don't see a team come out of nowhere and go all the way and win the championship 3 years in a row or 2 years in a row, or even hardly ever once.
All right. Coach, who are your
No.
3?
If I had a 4th, it'd be the Suns.
Okay. Number 1 is definitely Indiana. Halliburton, because a lot of eyes are going to be on Halliburton. Can he help now elevate this team even more? Yeah, he had a great All-Star weekend and everyone is watching him. But now if you want to be an elite, a superstar player in this league, you got to put your team on your back and you got to carry them. Number two, I'm
Homer.
Arco, you just said went where I was going, and it was Milwaukee, and it's not because of are they going to continue to spiral? Are they going to continue to play like they are? Because of everything that's going over there, you fired your coach last year. You bring in a rookie coach. You fire him now. You bring in Doc Rivers. So what's going to happen with them? What's honestly going to happen with them? So, and yeah, Phoenix was the other one that I was going to say, with KD, Booker, everything that they have going on there, Bradley Beal, are they really a big three? Now, I do want to throw a dark horse out there, and no, it's not my Knicks. I mean, Randy, you touched everything on the Knicks. That's why I'm not even going there. Yeah, I don't want to be a homer there. It's Orlando. It's actually Orlando. I'm intrigued with Orlando, and with Banchero and everything that they have going on over there. Can they push their way up into the 6th spot, maybe even the 5th spot, and make some noise? And that's a young ascending team. So, that's a dark horse for me.
They're only 3 games out of 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So for me, I'm going to be Homer Simpson here. I'm going with the Philadelphia 76ers just because just wait till everyone gets healthy. Wait for Batum to come back. He's supposed to come back tomorrow. Melton's supposed to come back on Sunday. And Covington, I don't know when he's supposed to come back. But once we get all these players back, and then Joel Embiid has been practicing already. So I'm just saying that's a team to watch out for when everyone is healthy. 2, I'm going to go with the New York Knicks. I'm going with the Knicks here, just the fact that Brunson and what he's doing, an MVP caliber player, and just like the roster that they have constructed this year. Wait for OG and Randall to come back. And number 3, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. I'm going with the Phoenix Suns on this one because KD has been playing lights out. He's been playing lights out until right now. Devin Booker, he's doing Devin Booker things over there. And then Bradley Beal, if he can stay healthy, that is dangerous over there. So that's my 3.
He just got hurt before the All-Star break.
I know. I got him on my fantasy team. I know.
So it's like, oh, man.
You beat me. Shut up. Blaze, you beat me.
No one cares about your fantasy team.
Oh, he beat you? Ooh.
Yeah, he beat me.
Oh, really? Something that we need to know about you guys? He beat you?
Where's that whistle at?
The Orlando pick, that was a good one. The Orlando,
That was.
yeah. Covington is out for 3 more.
Now, are you talking about teams that we're watching out for to make a run, or are you talking about teams that possibly could win it?
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. If it's possibly to make a run or like out of nowhere.
I cannot wait.
And then for the next thing, I'm really looking forward to this one. What does each team have to do for the second half of the season? And Blaze, I pulled something out of your playbook right here. You ready for this?
Cannot use injuries. Can't
No.
use injuries as an excuse to fix a team.
No. We're going to do a wheel.
Oh, cool. I was going to say, what team? When you asked that, my first question was, are you talking about our team? The teams we just picked? All the teams we've been here forever?
No. We're not going to do all. We're not going to do all 32 teams. We're each going to get one team. We're each going to get one. I'll spin it for. So we're going to start off with Randy. So Randy, for your team.
Oh, we're not doing this together. Oh wow.
No.
What a spin.
The Raptors.
Really? Come on, man.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
What are the odds?
That
What
is
are the
crazy.
odds?
30,
Like, seriously.
30 and 1.
So Randy, what is yours? for the Raptors.
That's great.
Oh man. Well, first of all, I think the maturity of Scotty Barnes coming from the All-Star game and him, being able to play with these guys and maybe pick their brain and kind of learn a thing or two. And then him being able to score 16 points in the All-Star game and shooting the way he did, which was really interesting. So for me, him going back to the team and listening to the coach, because right now it looks like he has a disdain to not want to listen to the coach. And I'm hoping for a better team building. I'm hoping for the team to play better defense. Because at times the guys look disinterested, and I understand because our record, but hopefully this break helped everybody. And that's not much to say. We're horrible this year. So
All right. So next up is Rios. Please, not the Rockets.
Spurs.
Rockets,
Spurs.
what the hell?
The NBA is
Wow.
rigged. It's rigged.
It's rigged.
They got a copy of the script. Oh man.
All right. So what do the Rockets have to do, Rios?
That's amazing.
I mean, injuries have hurt because we've lost our best defenders. I think honestly, man, it's really gonna come down to Jalen Green. If he can take the next step, so his last 3 years in the league, he's played much better after the All-Star break. If he can continue that trend this season, and our guys can be consistent on offense, they got a chance. Like I said, they're not that far out of the play-in. It's really just going to be a consistent. It's a young team, so their biggest issue is always going to be consistency. It's because they're young. They're going to have off games. They're going to be not tuned in all the time. But they're still kids. But if they can take that next step and be consistent, they're going to be a team to watch out for in the next couple of years.
Let me ask Rios a question real quick before we go on, since we're on this. Okay, so your team is already exceeding expectations. Say they make the playoffs. Is that enough for a successful season, or maybe winning one series? What would you, as a Rockets fan, consider a successful season? Thinking about how you came in, say they make the playoffs, or would it be winning a series?
Just making the play would be a successful season because after James Harden left, we thought it was going to be the dark ages. We're not going to see the playoffs for a decade, but hey, rebuild's a little bit faster than expected. So, hey, we can make the playoffs. That's a win in almost every Rockets fan's book, in my opinion.
I just before you go, I love hearing that because there's so many people out there that say, if my team doesn't win a championship, it's a failed season.
Yeah.
No, if you exceed the expectations, win a couple. To me, I mean, the Sixers make it to the semifinals. That's a success. I mean, thank you, Rios, because that's what I was hoping you would go with that.
Yeah, I mean,
they got to win it all.
Most of our rosters can't even buy alcohol in this country. So,
good point.
All right. So we're gonna go with we'll go with Blaze here.
Hey, Randy or Rios, if you guys don't play the lottery, play it tonight.
Right?
Watch his damn Sixers.
Magic.
Get more big men. I don't know. Like Coach said earlier, was it Coach the one that said was picking the Magic as a dark horse?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dave, just like we just talked about the Rockets, they're already exceeding expectations. And to see someone like Banchero come into his zone, we got all these players that are considered stars, but can they take that next leap and be a superstar? And I think he is doing that and proving that he can be, someone who could help carry that team pretty far. So, I mean, they need a couple more pieces, probably someone. And like we've talked about with Embiid, big man underneath. You get people like Maxey coming to his zone and other shooters like Hield. It can open the floor and spread it out. I mean, we know the Magic can be quick. We know they have shooters. They get someone who can either step up besides Banchero or bring someone in, which now it's kind of late. Trade is all over, and that
they got him. They already have him. It's Mo Wagner.
Yes, Wagner.
He's stepping up huge already. Him and his brother are starting to be those kind of guys that you could lean on. So, that's why when Coach made that pick, I was like, I could see why. And with Jalen Suggs and the other guys they got there, So,
yeah, thank you. That is exactly what they would do. They need a lot of work though.
Yeah.
Because they don't have, like I said before, you got to have that playoff experience in the NBA. You just don't come out of nowhere and win it all.
Yeah.
Watch that Coach gets the Knicks.
Oh, here we go.
Matt Pistons.
Pistons. Oh boy.
Oh,
Get your toolbox out. You got a lot of fixing to do.
And coach, remember they're 8-46.
Hey, you're the coach.
What do
Help
they
them out.
have to do to fix this season?
Don't say
Get
tank.
ready for the
Please don't say
draft.
tank. Please don't say tank. Nobody tank. Come on. Give us some insight. Save their season, coach. Save the Pistons season. What can change them around and maybe squeak into the can they? Are they? They're not. That
No,
far
there's
out.
no bloody way.
There's no point. They only have 8 wins. Please.
24.
They're eliminated.
Yeah,
Get,
There's
somehow
34
this is how they
games.
can fix their seasons.
All right.
Somehow, some way, get the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth draft picks. Somehow, some way, because there ain't nothing. There is nothing they can do to fix their season this year. I'm sorry. There's there's nothing. I mean, they can't make the play-in. I mean, the only thing you can hope for is that they develop some level of continuity with their young players and to continue to develop them. But realistically, they just have to hope for maybe 2 years down the road, because right now, there's not much I can say. And I don't even know their team, but this I can tell just by everything that I've seen. And you've gotten rid of probably all your best players so far. So
They got
somehow,
some guys. That's the problem for me. Sorry to cut you off, coach, but they
Yeah.
got Jalen Duren. They got some other guys over there, like Mitch keeps mentioning, Cade Cunningham. That guy could somehow stay healthy. The guy can play. I seen him put 34 points on my Raptors. So it's like they got dudes over there that can ball. It's just I don't know. Like somebody said in the chat, maybe it's time to get rid of the coach. But man, did they
just
freaking
brought
pay him
him
a
in
lot.
there.
They paid him a lot.
You paid him a lot. Matter of fact, he
Yeah.
said no in the beginning, and then you upped the ante. You up, so you're committed to him.
He's
You're
wishing
really
he would have
committed.
said no and stuck with it.
Like we
How many games-
we clown Milwaukee for what they did with Griffin, with a rookie head coach, and they were winning. And
Yeah.
here, Monty Williams didn't want to go there, and you doubled and paid him more money. So you to fire him,
Yeah.
that's
How many
Bad
games are in
luck.
the season? Real quick, how many games are in the season?
82.
82.
82.
82. So if right now, if they go undefeated for the rest of the season, they'll finish 46-46. 36.
46 and 36.
All
Well,
right.
that might get him into the
36
play-in.
and 46.
36 and
Alright.
46.
Mm.
So
36 and 46.
So for my turn, right? I want to. Who am I going to land on? Who am I
Hornets.
going to land on? Hornets?
Spurs.
Jazz.
Spurs? I wouldn't mind the Spurs. I wouldn't mind it. But I think Chad said Phoenix was one of them. So,
All right.
Want to be the Wizards.
It's the Sixers.
oh my
Portland.
God, please no.
Portland.
That's the one team I don't
Portland.
want.
Portland.
Wizards.
Ah, there you
Coach.
go. Yeah, there you go.
Why couldn't this
Bravo,
wheel be
Coach.
spitting out money?
15
Wheels,
and
spit out the
39. They're 15 and 39.
Also eliminated.
Yes, very good. If not-
I mean, what else is there? I mean, if Scoot Henderson comes into his own, if Scoot Henderson can step up and actually play like the players that we saw him
Yeah.
coming in this G League Ignite, that would change a lot of things. So for me, it's Scoot Henderson. There is a lot, but it comes down to him.
He's a big disappointment this year, definitely. Hate to say it
Oh,
because
yeah.
I thought he was going to be really good. Don't give up, though. You never know. Players can maybe take a year or two before he can start showing that he's got it because he got all the tools to be a superstar. So,
And it shows you how
Very
much Dame did there, too. Like,
yeah, I was
that
going to
was a
say, and
lot.
they lost their franchise player that's been there, their man for how long?
Yeah,
So,
The
yeah.
Rock.
All right. So who's the future face of the NBA? I'm actually really looking forward to
I
this
can't
one.
believe you thought this was on NBA Today yesterday. So I give you a lot of
I
props.
did not
You're on
watch
that level.
NBA today. No.
This was literally on there yesterday. So good
Really?
job, Mitch, producer. Yeah. I was like, Mitch, you copy. He's like, no, seriously. I defer. Someone else can go first. I have a good take.
Let's
on
start
this,
with Coach. Let's start with Coach on this one. Who do you think will be the future face of the NBA?
We're talking top scorer, top 5 player, face. That is one of the best.
I can see the league wanting Wemby, to be honest with you. To be really honest, and it's not it's real. It's not
Whoa!
bro.
It
He's
worked
got
for
the ring.
It worked for him.
But I'm not going to choose him. I'm not choosing him. I'm not. It's actually Tyrese Halliburton. I think if he continues his ascension, he may and he puts Indiana on his back, and he really pulls them up. I think he can become the face of this league. He has the pizzazz, the persona. He has the game. I mean, he even has. Excuse me, I know, guys. This is y'all are probably gonna tell me pause, but he has the sex appeal to draw the ladies in.
Yep.
So I mean, it would be great marketing. He seems to be a really good kid. He really does. He doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like he's going to go out there and pull out guns while he's on the video or go want to beat up kids, or whoever at high schools, because it should have been John Morant. I'm going to be brutally honest. It should have been John Morant, because he's already there. But I could see it being Halliburton.
That's a good answer, man. Good
I
answer,
really
Coach.
like that. Blaze.
I have invested in the Tyreses, as I've talked about, buying a lot of their cards, all their rookies, because last year and coming into this year, those were the 2 guys that I said could take the star status into superstar status. And Tyrese Maxey and Tyrese Halliburton. So both of the Tyreses, very, very much so. So Halliburton, I agree with you on that one. I could stay with my Kentucky boys and say SGA, because he is really coming to his own as a superstar. I agree with John Morant. I think he should have been. I'm not giving up on him yet, though. This year, it's an injury. It's something I always say, you can't control injuries, so I don't want to use that as an excuse. So there's a really good possibility he comes back and stays healthy. He still has that appeal. Is like every game he's going to give you the, oh my goodness, did he do that? And he could be the face. That would be a hell of a comeback story, personality-wise, too. If he can grow up, mature, not get in any trouble, lead the league in scoring a couple years, maybe win a dunk competition or something and do something crazy. But all those 4 are great names. I think there is, because when you're thinking of face, you got to think of Mike, LeBron, Kobe, Steph, Giannis, the top of the top. Take your team to the title, and that is the one I'm going with. Thank you, NYG. It's Anthony Edwards. We talked about him earlier in the year. Can he overcome having someone that ego like Cat, the alpha like Cat on his team? This year, we're starting to see a little more of Ant and still having Cat be great. I think Anthony Edwards is who I'm going to go with, as could be. It's hard to say one, because that's why I love the NBA, because there's always like 4 or 5 faces of the NBA, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can I say something to that? Because that's a great choice.
Yep.
But my question is, because he plays in Minnesota, do you think that could hurt him? Because a lot of fans don't see him, and because he's, the perception is he plays in the middle of nowhere. So
Yes, that can affect it. Same with Markkanen, as I would say he's got the total package too. But I didn't consider him as a face unless he would get traded to a big market. Because normally, like you're saying, it's a great point. Normally the face is in a big market. It's a Ewing or someone back in the Knicks time. It's a Shaq whenever Orlando was just brand new, though. He made that franchise early in his career. So
Duncan
it is
with
normally
San Antonio.
it's normally the bigger market. So that's a great point. But I'm hoping, and who knows? Here's another thing. Who knows where these players will be playing a couple years from now? When these rookie contracts end and a team can't afford it or has to rebuild, could we see a Halliburton move, an Ant Edwards move, a John Morant or Zion move? But I think there's 3 or 4 faces of the NBA, but I think Ant can be one of them.
I like that. Randy.
Man, I'm really torn between like Blaze said, because like him, I see it as well as not just one face but plural as faces, because everybody's got to be represented from some place. So for me, a guy like SGA from Canada, so I get to see a guy from Canada being at the top of the list when it comes to like scoring. Somebody like Luka Doncic when it comes to like when he plays at home in Slovenia, people get to look back and go and see like, holy shit, like I could be like him. And then you got people like Ant, who can be like, I can come into the league and become somebody. So for me, it's gonna be a plethora of those three. So
Before you go
All right.
on, I want to say this. When I think of the face of the NBA, I think it comes in threefold. Obviously, their play on the court, their
Yes.
personality, like Coach says, I think is a big thing. And their
Mhm.
merchandising. Are they a top seller? Are they making money for the company? So I would say it's in threefold: merchandise, personality, and play on the court would make a face, in my opinion.
I
the
like
NBA
that.
sees it merchandise top number one.
It's all about money.
All right. Rios. Is it Wemby?
Absolutely not. Actually, no, I'm gonna go from a player from one of my rival teams, the Mavericks, Luka Doncic, because he gives you that global look, because he played for Real Madrid in Spain. He's from Slovenia, which gives that European vibe as well, and he's only 24 years old and he hasn't hit his peak yet.
Personality.
He's only gonna. Then he has the personality, he has the face for it. Like I can see him carrying the NBA for years to come, and his game doesn't rely on athletic ability. I mean, you look at him; he's not the most athletic looking dude, but like he can drop 40 on your favorite team.
He gives you those wow moments. Yep, I agree.
I gotta say too, Rios, when he got blocked by the rim when he tried to dunk in the All-Star game, that was classic. He's like, I don't dunk.
Right?
Do you see him? Do you see that shot of him suckering Steph Curry to get close to the hoop, and then Jokic dunked over Steph in the pregame?
Yeah.
Doncic was playing pranks on people. You gotta love that. I mean, he's a fun guy.
Yeah.
I also
He's a good
saw
personality.
Jokic kind of. I don't know if this is tampering, but he was like, "Hey, Luka, if you're ever unhappy over there," and I saw a picture of those two on the Nuggets together. Wouldn't that be wild?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
Please
see him
no.
singing. I don't see him singing
Please.
down. He's next contract. He's out.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, it's gonna come down to who wants it more. Who wants like all that spotlight? Who wants that fame? Who wants all that?
It's
For
me,
me,
Tobias Harris. You know you're gonna pick me. I'm the future, bitch.
How are you the future when you're 31 years old?
I can play for 10 more years. I'm the greatest. I'm the face. Look at this face. It's beautiful. I'm the sexiest. I'm the best. I got the whole package, Mitch. Look at my package. Love my package.
Tofsky. Celebrated package.
That's a pause. That's a pause. So for me, I was going to say Anthony Edwards, but I want to change it up a little bit. I'm going to go with Wembanyama. And just for the fact
to piss off Rios.
but that,
Basically.
that too, but you got to put his height into consideration. What I mean by that, there's not a lot of players with his athletic ability at that height can do the things that he's doing, and it's from another country too as well. France, hey, he's getting a lot of money from over there. So, and you're going to see more players like him. So I'm going Wemby for me.
Parlez-vous français?
And he's so young too. I mean, he can still develop. He hopefully can put on some weight. And you got to remember, he's a baby. So think about him when he's 24, 25. He'll have 6 years in the league when he's mid-20s.
Yeah.
So we got Halliburton, Edwards, Luka, and Wemby, right? Is that our only four?
We thought the same about Yao Ming, and
I think he's a little more skilled. And Yao Ming's he's a Hall of Famer.
Yao Ming was destined for greatness until he got injured. So yeah.
So is that the four of the new faces? Halliburton, Edwards, Luka, and Wemby? Did someone pick somebody else than those four? Who'd you pick, Randy?
I basically said like SGA, Luka, and
well, you got one. Which one? Which one's on the top?
SGA.
All right, so then we got 4. So there's our 5. Halliburton, Edwards, Luka, Wemby, SGA. When we have episode 269, we're going to look back and remember those are the 5 names we picked to be the faces.
More
2 years from now.
All right. So to close out this episode, we're gonna skip the blind rankings. We'll do that
What
for
is that, by the way? I didn't even know what that was.
So
Like you do
what
the football
blind?
ones? A, B, C, D, F, or no?
No. So I was gonna give you guys random players. So for example, if I gave you like let's say Luca, and then you don't know who's gonna be next, so you would have to go out of 5. Where would you put Luca? So you
Oh,
would put him
Okay, I
at 2.
think people, yeah, let's do that next week then. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll save that for next week.
Hey, boy,
Because
sure.
right now we're gonna do the predictions and Blaze with the hot take. That's what
Forgot.
Charles said.
I forgot there was no games tonight. It's tomorrow night.
Yeah, so it's Thursday.
Yeah.
We're gonna predict
Thursday.
Thursday's games.
Holy
So
shit, loaded.
yeah, a lot of games. So
Home,
wait.
I'll take all the home teams.
All right,
back to
what
my
about the
original.
players? What about the players that players in the bigger markets?
Play in the bigger markets.
Yeah. I mean,
Future?
Yeah.
Who on those
I
teams is going to be a
mean,
future face? Let us know,
Lakers-
NYG. Who on
Lakers
those teams is
have-
going to be a future face?
Lakers have nobody. Chicago has nobody. Knicks got
the
Brunson,
only
but
one I can say is Brunson.
Kobe White. Kobe
Yeah,
White.
Brunson
could
from
be-
the Knicks.
Kobe White and Brunson.
Yeah.
Kobe, yeah.
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, LA.
Man,
They
get out
already
of
have
here.
one.
Our jokes aside, I love Brunson. I'm glad he's on my Knicks, but can I see
Can't
him
be a
as the
face.
face of the
Nah.
league?
No.
Nah,
No.
that's a
I
tough one.
don't see anybody.
He's a
on
great
those
player,
teams.
but yeah.
Be a
Hey,
future face? No one on those teams.
I hate to say this, but this is a hot take. If Brooklyn can build around Mikal Bridges right and correct, he could be up there for face.
I'd probably take Cam. Me, I'm taking Cam. If
I
Cam
would say Cam
it's just-
Thomas.
It's
Cam
something about
Thomas.
Cam Thomas
I'll
that
go
I've
with
watched.
I'll go with
Cam's
Mikal
got that
just
wild
because
factor, too.
he's the best two-way guy in the league,
He's a
arguably.
two-way guy,
He's
but
got
Cam
that
Thomas,
firecracker.
Cam
He's a
Thomas
firecracker.
can put up 50 on you in a split
That-
second, man.
That ceiling is up here, man. He has so much potential. Like, yeah, I
So
gotta
does
go with Cam
Mikal
Thomas.
Bridges, though.
I'm not
So
taking
it's-
anything with Mikal, but I mean he's going to give you a consistent 20 plus again. But Cam Thomas, like I said, maybe it's because I'm here and I get to see a little bit more and
Yeah.
watch the Nets. I see what NYG complains and a lot of the Nets fans where they needed to put him in and build around him. There's something about that. That kid he's buckets. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to say he's a baby Carmelo Anthony, because Carmelo Anthony was just plain scoring. And that's what Cam Thomas is not defense. But
No.
fans are going to come there to see him put that basketball in the net.
Yep.
And that's Cam Thomas.
Well,
If
nobody
developed.
played-
Yeah.
I'm still going with
Yeah.
Mikal.
I was about
I
to say
feel
that.
like
He just-
Mikal has all the attributes. He has
Cam
everything in
Thomas-
his game. And if we
superstars,
can
but I
build
don't
them
think
around.
either of them are faces. Both of them can be superstars.
No,
I don't
no,
think
no,
either
no.
have that three, that merchandise
Again,
personality.
It was a
I
hot
think Cam. I
Okay, you
think
can have
Cam.
hot cakes.
I think
man.
Cam is more likely to be a superstar than Mikal Bridges. Cam, like he's a walking bucket.
I'm taking the field.
Mitch, you
taking
know what your
Field.
other hot take was?
Field.
What?
Field.
Jordan Poole, comeback player of the year.
Most improved. It was,
Come on the
most
back.
improved.
Like,
Dive in the pool,
Ah.
man. Dive in the pool.
I ran off a little.
All right.
All right. Knicks Sixers.
Home team.
Blaze,
I'm
you
gonna
do
go-
that for everyone.
I'm going Knicks.
I'm
All
going
home
Sixers.
Yeah.
I know y'all waiting for me to say it. I'm going Sixers.
Okay. All right. Magic
Wait a minute,
Cavs.
where they playing at? Where they playing at?
Sixers.
Philly.
Yeah, because I don't know if we're getting everything. OG is not coming back as yet.
Randall is still out.
Julius is not even. Julius is even saying he's not ruling out surgery. So it's like,
Wow.
Oh shit!
Mm.
How can you not cheer for a dude named OG, man? For real.
Right?
I love that.
That's gay.
All
I don't
right,
know that.
go on to the next one. I said
Orlando Magic against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland.
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 Cleveland! This
They
is
were
for
hot.
you.
Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks.
Hey,
All right.
I'm taking-
Pistons versus the Pacers.
Pacers.
Pistons. The Pistons. The
That's right.
Pistons.
This is the
Pistons.
start of their undefeated season. They'll be
The
undefeated
Pistons
start.
Part of
will
the fixing
lose
of
to
the
the Pacers. They will lose to the Pacers.
he swerved us.
Brooklyn Nets against the Toronto Raptors.
Home team. I'm going Raptors. Home team.
I'm gonna
I'm
go
going
Brooklyn.
Raptors. I'm going
I'll go
Raptors.
Brooklyn. I
Man,
think
y'all
the
just talked about
coaching
that fire.
change lights them up.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm turning my back on Toronto because they cut my boy, so I'm going Brooklyn.
Wait, who they cut?
Ron Harper Jr.
I
Or-
did not
or-
even hear about that.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was. He got surgery, so they let him go.
Well,
That's about
NYG
way to
picked
get
the Raptors.
And I'm gonna pick the Nets.
Wow. No.
All right,
What?
big game
He
tonight.
do not play good against centers that can block really good down low, and Nick Claxton is a problem. So, and we played him already this year, and now this is going to be the Dennis Schroeder revenge game, and he'll probably light us up or something. So watch.
All right, big game here. Phoenix Suns at the Dallas Mavericks.
Or Mavericks.
I'm going Phoenix.
I'm going Mavs.
I love both teams, but home team.
I'm gonna go Phoenix. I'm gonna go Phoenix.
Okay, this game, it went from the best game to the worst. Boston Celtics against the Chicago Bulls.
Do I have to pick?
I think I'm going to be a lone wolf in this one.
That's the home team in Chicago.
Chicago.
I'm
Yeah.
going
Boston.
Boston. I'm going
Yeah, I'm
Boston.
going Boston.
Home team, lone wolf. I got to stick
Yeah.
with
The Rockets at
you,
the
Randy.
Pelicans. Houston Rockets at the New Orleans Pelicans.
it. Zion for 4.
Oreo. Gold Pels.
Going Rockets.
I'm going.
Commanders are left hand up. What are the Pelicans? One leg up? Isn't that what a Pelican does?
I'm going with the Pelicans. I'm going with the Pelicans here. Coach.
Worst name in the
I'm
world.
sorry, I wasn't listening. Who's up now?
Pelicans
The
Rockets.
Houston Rockets at the New Orleans Pelicans.
The Pelicans.
All right, Lone Wolf. I'll take it.
Change your name, Pelicans.
All right. The Los Angeles Clippers at the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good
Okay,
one.
so-
Hi.
Okay.
I'm going Clip. I'm going Thunder.
Home team. F.U. James
Thunder.
Garbage.
Have to go Clippers. They're playing too good right now.
I hate to
Clip.
say it, but they are.
Going Clips.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wizards at the Nuggets.
Chicky Nuggies. Home team.
I'm going Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Poole.
Joker's gonna have a quadruple double.
Tell me
Jordan
another
Poole
story.
Jordan Poole can stay in the locker room for this one.
Tell me another
You will.
story about those nuggies.
Nuggies?
All right.
I don't
They're
have
Hornets,
dinosaur shaped, and I
I'm
like them
gonna
with
tell you a story.
ketchup. What?
I don't have my sexy music on this one there.
Talk to Andy Reid though. Talk to Andy
Hornet-
Reid.
Oh my god,
Hornets
yeah.
at the Jazz. What?
Yes.
Home team.
Jazz. I'm going Jazz. Lakers at the Warriors.
Home
Fuck the
team.
Lakers, Warriors.
I'm going
Mm.
Warriors.
Home team.
Yeah, Warriors.
Lakers.
Spurs at the Kings.
Kings.
I'm going,
Warriors are like 7-3 last 10 games. They've been on a nice little run.
I'm
The
going
Spurs,
Kings.
the Spurs are going to say, "King me, please."
Home team. King.
All
Sacktown.
right. All right, guys. So that's going to conclude the episode 61 of the Pick and Roll podcast. This one
8
is
more
fun.
episodes.
8 more.
This was
8
great.
more.
Come on, baby. 8 more.
Eight more.
shows.
Yeah.
8 more.
So
shows.
make sure you guys like and subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. Subscribe to everybody here. Links are in the link tree down below.
No larger,
And yeah, guys, we're out. And wait, here it is. And you know what? For you, Blaze, everyone have a good one. Peace.